This is the very well thought out, very planned ahead cold open designed to capture your engagement in 5 seconds so you don't click off during the intro. Oh, I should have just done that and... Oh, Baka! Ooh, ooh. Hey! Manga Tuesday. Hola! It's everyone's favourite lolcow, the notorious DRC. Welcome back to Manga Tuesday, episode 136. And today, as requested by Woody from the Woody XV Sleeping Thread, we shall be reviewing an Asuka Rei Goku Doujinshi. It's an epic Evangelion Dragon Ball crossover Doujinshi. Before we get into the review, we need to look in what exactly is a Doujinshi. A Doujinshi is made up of the word doujin and shi. Doujin meaning poorly made, and shi meaning no help from some massive giant soulless corporation. It's ground roots level stuff. So in a way, Manga Tuesday itself could be considered a doujinshi. This particular Asuka Rei Goku Doujinshi is rather short, so I'm actually going to read it together. Here are the principal characters in question. We have Asuka Langley, we have Rei Ayanami, and we have Son Goku, and we also have a faceless, nameless narrator. I'll be voicing all characters. I'll get in character for all of them. So we're going to experience this doujinshi in its entirety together right now. And then I will review it afterwards once we're done. Let's just read it now. Asuka Langley. Rei Ayanami. Nice to meet you two amazingly youthful looking hot mamas. Mamas? Do we look old enough to be someone's mother? Let's go easy on the M word, okay? We'll get along famously. Psst, Ray, he's so ordinary. You'd never know he used to be a big deal at all. Maybe we should back out of this film. Finn. That is the full, complete Doujinshi. So now, let's break it down. Let's do a deep dive analysis. We start off with some establishing shots of Asuka and Rei's face to establish that they are two of the main characters. Then we get a wide view of and the reveal of Goku, our third primary character. Now, Goku, for fans of Dragon Ball, we know that Goku is a little ignorant of certain social cues and social interactions. He's mildly autistic. So, because it's a little strange when you're first meeting someone to call them youthful-looking hot mamas. For all the Manga Tuesdayniacs out there who don't socially interact much, take this piece of advice. When meeting someone for the first time, you should not call them an amazingly youthful-looking hot mama. It is not recommended. And we know that this is the first time Goku is meeting them because his first line is, "Nice to meet you two." And that's another hint, a tip. You wouldn't say "nice to meet you" to someone if you've already met them before. That is only sort of a first-time thing. You got one chance to slip that little conversational line in. If you miss the boat, you miss the boat. You can't reuse it when you meet again. Although that being said, Goku's lack of social cues, maybe he doesn't know that you're not supposed to say "nice to meet you" when you've already met someone before. So it's possible that they've met before, but I think this is taking a more of a meta look at it. The reason, the intentions that the author had when they drew and wrote this, I don't think it was meant to. I don't think the first line was meant to highlight Goku's ineptness at social interactions. I think it was meant to establish that this is their first time meeting one another. Now
we then immediately get Asuka's reaction, and she's sort of a little peeved at this. She's insulted, quite frankly, that he would insinuate that they look old enough to have had sexual intercourse with a man and then have had 9 months pass to birth a child, which I'm not sure. I mean, I know, like, she looks old enough to be a mother, is the point I'm getting at, particularly in this. I don't know how old Asuka actually is. I'm more of a Dragon Ball aficionado. I'm not a Neon Genesis or Evangelion aficionado, so maybe she's probably 13, which could completely change the context of this doujinshi. But for the sake of arguments, I'm going to say even if she's 13 in the source material, looking at the way she's drawn here, she looks like she could be mother age. So I think the mangaka's intention here is to sort of highlight Asuka's inflated ego, that while a little inappropriate, Goku is still paying her a compliment. He says she looks amazingly youthful, hot, mama. And instead of just accepting the compliment, Asuka has focused in on the mama part of that and been like, "You saying I'm looking like an old hag? I ain't old enough to be a mother." But first of all, she does look old enough to be a mother, but she's also ignoring the preceding line, amazingly youthful looking, hot mamas. It's not about actually being a mother who has given birth. You don't have to have actually birthed the child to be a amazingly youthful looking hot mama. It's more just a term of endearment. So I think the author's intention is also trying to highlight that Asuka might not fully understand social cues and might also be mildly retarded. Final panel we have here. Let's go easy on the M word. The M word being mama/mother. So it's further showing Asuka's out of control ego. Okay, we get a South Park Mr. Mackey reference. But then in the final speech bubble is where things really get interesting. Psst, Rei, he's so ordinary. Sorry, I need to do the Asuka voice. Psst, Rei, he's so ordinary. You'd never know he used to be a big deal at all. Maybe we should back out of this film. Now, this seems to imply a lot of things. It seems to be a meta-commentary about the decline of relevance of Dragon Ball, but I think this is very a misguided attack, because I think Dragon Ball's popularity, even though it was many years ago, you think it would have declined in popularity, but it continues to increase in popularity, and with so much so that they're making new shitty Dragon Ball movies that people pretend aren't shitty. And holy shit, it's CGI Orange Piccolo! What the fuck? What's next? African American Frieza? Or gay Sal? I think that's just Sal. The franchise is as popular ever, so I think the author was a little off base with that social commentary. I think they're a little misguided. I think they're a little stupid. They themselves might be a little autistic. But another big reveal, maybe we should back out of this film, seems to infer that they are about to shoot a pornography together. Also indicated by the little watermark porncomic.info, also is a little minor hint there. The question really is, why is him being ordinary want to make Asuka back out of the film? Is it because, once again, I think it's her heightened ego that she's like, this guy's so ordinary, why are we even doing this? Like, this isn't gonna help us at all. But I think the real root of it is she's still hung up on the youthfully looking hot mama line. She's still very insulted about being called a mother, and so she's trying to back out of the film for other reasons. Anyway, and that's where the story ends, so we don't actually see whether they go through with the sex on camera or not. So it's just implied that they probably do. This is just a cock tease. It's just designed to get you a little... It's just designed to stretch out the waistband on your underwear a little bit, but not give you the chance to... the satisfaction of releasing the seed of your potential future lineage. It's blue balls you. Like Rei's bluish hair. That's another clue. Her head with her haircut is like a blue ball. That's foreshadowing. Asuka's turn of phrase there in that final panel is also interesting. We'll get along famously. What does that mean? They'll get along famously. It's honestly, the wording, like, let's go easy on the M word, okay? We'll get along famously. The wording, it's a little clunky. Conversationally, it's a little lacking. And I think that really is shown even more in the next line with, you know, you'd never know he used to be a big deal at all. This comment on the declining popularity of Dragon Ball, which is just completely false. And the mangaka who wrote this is honestly, the more I examine it, is a bit of an idiot. We didn't even get into the sort of visuals. We've been focusing on the dialogue, but look at the visuals of the background sort of imagery. It kind of looks stupid. And then the shadow, some of the shadow and the shading of that third panel. What the hell is going on there? Like, what the hell is going on there? And the watermark? What the hell is going on there? What kind of, like, is this a professionally made product or not? Or is this some fucking Doujinshi? Also, I mean, look at the spacing between the panels, like between the top two, and then you got this big, thick, like twice as wide spacing between the bottom two panels for no reason. It's just very poor panel work. People. Let's just wrap this up. Also, last week's Manga Tuesday performed so poorly that we're cancelling it. And it's funny because you think that's a joke, because usually it is. But this time it's actually serious and you don't even know. Even as I say it, you don't believe me. But I know the truth. So fuck you. Bye. So much more I could say, but I don't want to be too critical on this mangaka. I don't want to drag his name through the mud. And actually, his name is unknown. This is an unknown, uncredited work. We don't know who made it. But I really don't want to drag his name through the mud, so I'm going to cut the review short. I don't want to get into it because I'm starting to get really critical about how shit this piece of shit. The more I look at it, the more it just sucks. It's just stupid. It just, so many things just don't make sense, and it's just very, very amateurish, very doujinshi-ish. Emphasis on the doujin part. It's very just poorly made, and I don't want to really go into how terribly structured the entire thing is. I mean, it's so bad, but I don't want to drag the unknown, unnamed artist's name through the mud like that. That would be unfair to him. So we're just going to wrap things up. For a rating, I'd give it an 8.12 out of 10. And I guess that pretty much sums things up. So, thanks for watching. And as always, yeah.
It's just another Tuesday. And if you were in for a spell where it falls into an order, you can help them. Well, yeah. No.
What the hell is that? What is that growth on my head?